Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a new show. A new show. Welcome to our new show. He said. A look at the world from a seasoned black man's perspective. I'm Alvin King, your host, and thank you all for joining us today. Happy Black History Month to everybody, everyone. Hopefully, you are aware that it is Black History Month. Some of us go by or operate in the sense that it is Black History Month every day. I happen to be one of those people, but in all fairness, they have set February aside for all of us. Welcome to our show tonight. It is just Bobby, Vash, and I for our show. You know, every now and again, we have to stop and do a show that's just us. And this is our Let's Get Newsy 4. And Bobby, actually, since he's come on board, he has never been a part of Let's Get Newsy. So, you know, you're in for a treat tonight because we're going to talk to you about some of the hottest topics that's in the headlines right now and give you our spiel or our feel on what's going on. So let me first talk to everybody about this week. Yesterday was Groundhog Day. I don't know what you all did, but see this cute little thing. This little cute little thing determines whether or not we're going to have 6 more weeks of cold weather or winter if we see his or her shadow. And apparently up in Pennsylvania, they saw her shadow. But I don't know if all this is like really true because this, weather pattern that we've been having, at least in DC, I know that the cherry blossoms are already started blooming. So look, today is cold as a witch's, you know what, you all, but tomorrow is supposed to go up to 60 degrees in DC. So look, I don't know about you, Mr. Groundhog or Miss Groundhog, but I'm not ready for 6 more weeks of warm weather. I mean, of winter weather. Also, this week, I know all of you all know it's no secret, but Beyonce tickets went on sale. And some of you are trying to figure out how can you, save up or get up enough money to spend that $1,200 to sit in the orchestra section of the FedEx Field. She's going to be here on August the 5th and August the 6th. She added another show. I've been talking to some people, and you all are so hyped. I mean, you like little girls in a store talking about you're going to see Beyonce. And then those ticket prices became available yesterday. And you all just like clench your pearls. That's right. She is not playing, or I'm sorry, the promoters, everybody wants me to believe, are not playing with that ticket price. But her lowest ticket price that I have seen so far starts at $600, and it's up in the nosebleed section. So I don't know about you all. You have to register. Tickets are going to be available soon, but until they are, you got time to figure out whether you're going to pay your mortgage for some of you or not. But anyway, she's coming, and I'm going to try to find a way to be there, so maybe I'll see one of you all there. But I'm ready to get on with our show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could get on with all of that, I'm ready for the chat so I can get my guys in here. So let's go to the chat. Hey.
Bonjour.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Hold on. Hey, Sean. How you doing, Sean? Sean is online today. Hey, Sean. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Vash.
Hey, what's up? Coming to you live, not from Philadelphia this week, but from Atlanta. Wow. Another hotel room.
You are just our traveling fool.
I'm tired. That's what I am. I'm tired.
Vash really held back because I believe he was going to say something else.
He did, and he realized that there are censors who would take him out. So, but he did. You're right.
I did not want y'all to give our audience the wrong impression about who I am.
Oh, you do that. Not like we don't. We have nothing to do. You take care of all of that.
I think the audience have, over, nearly 2 years, they've gotten to know who you are. Which I think so.
It's always Sean. It's always, hey, Sean. it's always that comment that, it's like we've said something and we think we're moving on, and Vash says something a little under, like it's not quite as loud as the previous statement, but he'll just say something on the side.
And what do you make of all that? What do you make of all that, Bobby?
When Vash Boddie speaks, everybody listens.
See? And there you have it. There you have it.
Well, while we're at the beginning of the show, I do want to talk about, before we go into all of our headlines and whatnot, I want to talk about our anniversary show that's coming up on February the 24th. As some of you all who were watching the show last week, we're going to do something different. And so stay tuned for that in terms of where we broadcast from. But we want to prepare for the show, and I want to send out an email to those of you who watch the show and whose email addresses that I have, to invite you to create a videotape for the show and send it in. And I think last year, we were, kind of techie with it, but it caused some problems. So we're going to go the easy route this time. Right, guys? We want you, when you get the invitation, the instructions will be to tape no longer than 58 seconds. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? 58 seconds.
And that's generous. I mean,
58 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
And it will instruct you to say, give you an idea of what you can say in 58 seconds. But no longer than 58 seconds, we want you to create a video and send it in to us. Basically, so we can know who you are, congratulating us on the show, or whatever you would like to say. But again, you can do it from your phone and send it in. So get your lighting right. Get your lace front right.
Ooh, whoa.
What's wrong with a lace front?
Nothing. Not at all.
I think it's cutting them so you don't see the lace.
Yeah, well, no, some lace fronts are really cool.
That you lay down?
You lay down, yeah. Because I look at Drag Race all the time, and I'm really into lace fronts. But I digress. But get your lighting right and whatnot, and whatever you have to do. And send us your tape. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So the letter is going out this week, and just take a couple of minutes and send something to us. So that's my story. Anything else you all want to share about the anniversary show?
No, I'm excited. I obviously, as the newest member of the team, I'm really looking forward to hearing people's reflections on how they've enjoyed the show over the last couple of years. So I think it's great.
Rumor has it you're a fan favorite, baby. Okay, because I'm just saying, I've gotten some emails. Got some neighbors who even stopping you on the street saying, "Well, I didn't know you was as handsome as you are."
Well, your neighbor is just so sweet. She
so
made
blind.
Exhibit A. I mean, like, you all are making people think something about me. I'm like, Exhibit A. I knew it would only take a few minutes for him to come right on through one of those things. She's so sweet and blind.
See, wow. Hello, Rose. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Rose, come on now.
Well, if you all are ready, a lot is going on as always in the news, and so we just want to bring you some of the headlines that we have been talking about and share them with you. Last week, on Wednesday, actually, Tyree Nichols, who was murdered, he passed away on the 10th of January after being beat by 5 police officers who are all Black. His funeral was on Wednesday, and Kamala Harris, she attended the funeral along with some other high-profile dignitaries. But since this, conviction or this, they show the video and we know who the 5 Black officers are. 3 more officers have been convicted or have, convicted of being a part of his murder. And one of them happened to be white. So that kind of, in my opinion, kind of changes the dynamics a little bit. But we're going to talk about that. But I also know that Joe Biden met with the CBC this week to discuss moving forward with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And so I just want to talk to you guys about, what's next. I didn't see the video, so I purposely did not see it. So, but I know what happened. So how do you guys feel about what's next?
I haven't watched the video either. What I have watched are videos of police officers commenting on it.
Mhm.
And listening to some of the commentary, this is still a reflection of police officers killing Black people.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And not feeling as though they will face any repercussions.
Yep.
Them building into their assaults, their defense. He's grabbing my weapon, stop resisting, all of those things. I think it is advancing the conversation, because now that it's Black officers on a Black victim, the racism thing goes out, and people who would like to attack Black on Black crime, or whatever, are allowed to say, yes, look at how bad these police officers are. And it's going to make it a little more difficult to go backward and say, oh, no. When they're white officers, it's okay. It's advancing the conversation.
It is definitely advancing the conversation. And I would hope that people don't get lost in the fact that, just because he was killed by 3 Black officers, that it is about him being killed by 3 Black officers, race. This is about a blue uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep our eyes on where it really is. This is about what goes on behind, or in the hearts or in the minds of those who wear that blue uniform, and what they think that they can, that they can do, and what they can't do.
I will echo that. I think that is exactly, for me, Alvin and Vash, where I stand on this particular issue. I have not seen the videos in their entirety. I have seen excerpts from it, and part of it was due to the fact that I knew that I would be engaging my students around some of these topics, and I wanted to have some sense of what they were referring to and having those discussions. But I cannot say how much I agree with you, Alvin, in the sense that there was no such thing as a blue life. There is a uniform, and there is a culture that exists since the inception of policing in the United States of America that has devalued Black and brown people. And it continues to be deeply entrenched in the process of policing in this nation today. Are there good police officers? I want to be very clear. I know that there are good police officers out there, but they exist within a culture that perpetuates, as you said, certain things being done to certain people and not being done to others. I can speak without a doubt that even those police officers who brutally beat that young man would not have engaged a white citizen of the United States of America in that way. They just would not have done it.
They would not.
The consequences for their behavior, even though they got fired. So there was a swift response to it. But what I'm saying to you is that there is a understanding of behavior, of acceptable behavior and unacceptable behavior, that would have prevented them from engaging a white motorist in the way that they engaged with Tyree Nichols.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. And you made me think of something else when you said swift move to convict them. That is also something that should be, that we should keep our eyes on, because they were Black. They moved swiftly to convict them because they were all Black officers. And yet in May of 20, we saw a white officer with his knee on someone's neck, literally killing them
for almost 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes, and it took months to convict them. So there's still flaws in the system about that. And so that also raised another question. I'm sorry, what did Sam say here?
But we can't ignore the racial dimensions.
Intra,
yes, because inter is a different.
Yes.
Intra-racial dimensions. Internalized self-hatred is real.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Sam. Very good point, Sam. Very, very, very good point. And that brings me to the fact that in this story that Joe Biden spoke to CBC. In my opinion, I don't know how.
Alvin, I just want to point out for those who may not know, CBC is the Congressional Black Caucus.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the Congressional Black Caucus are now involved in trying to push forward the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2021. And what I'm saying to this is, I'm going to say, where have you been, Congressional Black Caucus? I don't know where you've been. My 90-year-old uncle asked me one day when I was over his house, because he knows I do the show, last year. He was like, where is the CBC, Bernard? My family calls me Bernard, guys. And I was like, he has a point.
Yeah.
And so to see them actively pursuing this and fighting to get this law or this bill pushed, or this act to push forward in light of all this, is kind of refreshing to me. So yeah.
So just quickly, and has anyone heard the little rumors that that he might have been dating a woman that one of the officers had been dating, and that somehow, some way that this could be connected? I know when Derek Chauvin, when all that was going on with George Floyd, people were saying, oh, well, they knew each other because
they had a
worked
history.
Together. Right.
Yes.
This is coming up as well. I don't know any specifics, but it would be interesting to see if any of that comes up during the trial.
I do know for sure that they did mention that 3 of the 5 initial officers who were engaged in this brutal beating were members of a Black fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, and their membership has been revoked. The fraternity put out a national statement condemning this behavior and revoking their membership as members of Omega Psi Phi.
Wow. Yes, Vash, I did hear about that rumor that that Tyree was supposedly dating a girl who was associated with one of the officers. But I also saw that heard that Tyree's stepfather went on TMZ and said that wasn't true.
Okay.
So I don't know what story is true or not.
Look,
the one
more
thing
should be revealed.
Yeah, one thing I do know is that this man was killed, and he should be alive today.
Amen.
So yeah, that is what I know. So
we have to have answers, because I don't understand how 5 Black men as officers would do that to another Black man who clearly was an upstanding citizen. So more should be revealed.
Thank you, guys.
Moving on, we are going to explore the continued discovery of classified documents in the homes of high-level personnel, political leaders. As you all know, there were documents associated with our former president, whose name I choose not to use. And of course, there were documents, a smaller number, yet still classified documents found in the home of our current president, Joe Biden, and most recently, classified documents found in the home of former Vice President Mike Pence. And so the question, gentlemen, is the classified document situation. Is it something that really matters to you? Is it something that you believe is going to impact, moving forward, the way that political dignitaries will be able to have access? Is it something that's going to impact the election? Classified documents, your take. Discuss among yourselves.
Well, I look at it like fishing. If all the Republicans everybody needs bait. You know what I mean? Both parties need the bait to hang somebody on. And I think before they found the documents in Mike Pence's house, I have to say, Biden was under pressure, serious. I mean, they were like really going in on. They have now backed off a little bit, because now becomes these pages don't know what they're doing. So and you let them come in your house to do it. To answer your question, will it have a political impact? I think it's going to be something for them to talk about once they start running for office. And we have to see, half the country, voted orange. You know what I'm saying? So, come on. Yeah. They need everything. They need anything that they can get to create foolery, in my opinion. So yeah. So I think it will have an impact.
I'm happy that it happened, because I think that it shines a light on sort of the division and the partisanship going on in politics, and it's allowing more people to get fed up with it.
Yeah.
Whole big thing about Trump having classified documents, and there was a whole political party that was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal," even though it had gone on for months and months and months. And they were trying to get it back.
Right.
Then you have Biden have some
6 or like 8, less than 10, and those very same people were like ballistic.
Like, this is the worst thing on the planet. We got to go after him. We got to go after him, and just they were crazed. And then it came out that Pence had them as well. And those people were just like, what do I do? What do I say? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
right.
If it's an issue, throw the book at all of them. If they're not supposed to have them and they're not supposed to cooperate and they're supposed to go to jail, put them all in jail, because the worst thing that happens is that Biden goes to jail, Kamala Harris becomes president, and we move on. So I'm ready for that.
You know what? A bit of silence for a minute, because I hear you, Vash. I hear you. I have nothing to say. So
this is what I do believe, though, very quickly. Like I don't know about everyone else's career, but I can tell you, I bring work home on the weekend sometimes. I'm not happy about it. And it's hard for me to believe that at the level of leadership that these people are, that they don't have to. It's not like when Joe Biden goes to his Delaware home, he stops being president.
Right.
The notion that some of these documents have to travel for the sake of keeping things running, I think is just a part of being realistic.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do believe, as you said, there is an issue with the handling of them, because if they left, it should be someone's responsibility to make sure that it went back. And I think that's, for me, what the big issue is, that there is an issue, and there's certain information that you just don't want in someone's garage.
Right. Right. And thank God that President Obama got the memo.
Okay, so far,
so far you have found nothing at the at his home in DC and Chicago.
So far.
You haven't, again.
And I'm willing to go to Hawaii to check.
Okay.
If they need somebody to go there.
I will second that. I will sign the check for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and okay, I don't. To answer your question, for me to close, I'm just going to say I know it's going to impact the election results. It's going to come up. Somebody's going to use it to, beat it down. But they better be careful, because it's been found in an ex-president, an ex-vice president, and the current president's office.
Yep.
It was moved there when he was vice president.
Right.
So come on. What does Maurice say here?
He said, I'll
spend time at the place on the vineyard to check.
At the Obamas.
Right, exactly.
That's very giving of you, Maurice.
Well, guys, hold on. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. Norman Rich. What's up, guys? Saying hi from San Juan. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, this comment is coming from our producer.
Yes. Who's in sunny San Juan.
Okay. So
Puerto Rico,
right?
My lovely island.
Say hi to all the Tanners. Thank you for joining us tonight.
So, Norm, the fact that you are in sunny San Juan and we are coming from Atlanta, Philadelphia, and DC, and you're gonna come on and say hi from sunny San Juan. Okay, we see how you're playing.
I'm not mad. Bring me a cigar.
Okay, please. Thank you. Well, while Norman is laying in the sun, ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to get a little serious with me about what's happening in this next story. There are a lot of fentanyl deaths that are happening right now. And they are happening in high schools and middle schools. As of December 16th, 2022, the monthly overdose deaths among persons aged 10 to 19 years old, adolescents, increased 109% from July to December in 2019 to July to December in 2021. Deaths involving illicitly manufactured fentanyl, that's IMF, increased 182%. Approximately 90% of deaths involved opioids, and 84% have involved fentanyl. I want to take a moment to tell everybody who's watching how serious this is. And really want to talk to the parents here.
Mm.
I got to. If you're not talking to your kids about what's happening here, I'm going to say you are setting yourself up for the worst experience of your life. That's what I have to say right now until you guys weigh in, because this is kind of, I actually had an experience where if I had kept my mouth shut and didn't voice something that could have possibly happened, I was actually communicating to someone who didn't know that there was a chance that their child could possibly get a hold of fentanyl.
Mm.
Wow.
And it disturbed me to the point to where I'm disturbed today, because that didn't come up in the conversation when it was discussed that this person, that this child brought home something from another child that you didn't know about.
Wait, they brought home like a pack of things or what have you?
It was like a pack of, actually it was Kool-Aid. Pack of Kool-Aid. So who gives your child Kool-Aid in school? I don't even know if they still sell Kool-Aid in the store. But
They do.
but okay, they do. But your child comes home with Kool-Aid, and you don't know where it came from, and you're just concerned that the child came home with Kool-Aid and some of it fell on the floor. And again, it was kind of personal to me. And I felt like I needed to say something because somebody is not getting the memo that these kids are dying. A child just died today here in DC. I think there's a picture, I think, Vash, you may have shown it. I didn't see it. I was talking, that has all of the kids that have died. I mean, this is kids who are dying every day.
Yep.
And it's very serious. And I just need you all, if you got friends who have kids or teenagers or whatever, talk to them, because it is no joke. And these kids who say they got back problems, they can't sleep because they got classes or whatever, talk to your kids. If they can't get it from the store, you can't get a sleep aid from the store. Because they can't sleep, they have too much school or whatever. And here's the thing, the kids who are dying from fentanyl are not drug abusers.
That's true. Well, I will just say quickly, I'm an educator. I've been in education for almost 40 years now, and it is scary. It is scary, the reality, from vape cartridges to, fentanyl, like the fact that counties are now having programs where parents can have access to, what is it, Narcotan, I think is the drug that
Narcan.
Narcan.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Narcan. To reverse the possibility of an overdose. It's very scary out there. And if parents are not aware of the access that kids have through even things through social media, the things that whether it's drugs or whether it's you remember about a month ago, the man who met the young girl online and traveled all the way across country, killed her mother and her grandparents.
Right.
And you've got to be, whether it's drugs, social media, or whatever, you cannot be a sideline parent in terms of being involved with your children. You've got to be a part of their existence in a way that wasn't absolutely necessary when we were growing up. It is very different now. People have access to your children in a second.
Right. In a second.
Yes.
In a second. So I agree with you. Thank you. I just need to get a PSA out about fentanyl and how it is definitely killing. Kids are dying. And they don't have to have a conversation with their child.
Right.
Please. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sorry. That was
Well
a PSA.
done.
Thank you. So I think we there was something else that happened in the school recently also, since we're talking about school and we got this educator here. I think there was also something that happened in Newport News where a 6-year-old.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. The 6-year-old, thank you. Because my screen went dead on me here and I was like, okay, well, there's something, thank you. That's brotherly love. Got your support. There is something that happened, unfortunately, as we were talking about students and having access to things that could harm them, there is also the possibility that they could have access to something that could harm another person. And we have the case of a 6-year-old student in Virginia who came to school with a gun. And apparently there is accusation that in some way, shape, or form, the school was notified that there was a possibility that the child could be in possession of a gun, and that there was an attempt to search for said gun to no avail. And within the course of the day, the child takes out the gun and actually shoots the teacher. And so now the teacher, who, of course, thank God, was not killed, is recuperating, but suing significantly both the school district, and I believe there's some individual complaints and complainants or people that are being sued as well, around the notion of the failure of protecting her.
The superintendent resigned.
Yes.
And there were a couple of people who resigned. And
the principal, the vice principal, there's been a whole shift as a result of that, because I do believe there were some shortcomings in terms of the way that this was supposed to be handled. But it also raises the question again of how does a 6-year-old have access to a firearm
that was supposedly locked with a key and a combination. And the parents are now speaking out, but I haven't heard anything. And this was at Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you all have heard of. We didn't have the name of the young lady who was shot, and but that was her picture there, the teacher who was shot. But she, like Bobby said, she is suing them now because of negligence and what they didn't do to protect her when she reported it. So,
and Maurice is citing that he believes that the parents indeed should be held accountable.
Exactly.
For this as well.
I totally agree with you on that, Maurice. So more to come on that, but the child will not, I don't think the child should be, well, they're not going to charge the child, of course.
No.
But I definitely think the parents should be held accountable for what happened.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to jump forward because prosecutors.
We need to.
What you say?
I said because we need to.
Unfortunately, it's more death, but it's okay because prosecutors in Kenya have charged freelance photographer Jackton Adiambo with murder of the LGBTQI activist and fashion maverick Edwin Kiloba.
Yeah.
You know,
sad.
I know it is. I know. Apparently, Adiambo reportedly was in a sexual relationship with Kiloba, and the autopsy revealed that Kiloba was suffocated, stuffed into a metal box, and then dumped by the roadside.
God bless him.
Which no clear motive was actually given, but Kiloba's murder really resulted in a huge outpouring of support from the LGBTQI communities from around the world. And I just want to say that we are joining them all in sending peace and love and comfort to the family, the friends, and fellow activists in Kenya, because I know this sent a ripple through the community, but I want you all to stay strong because right is on your side.
Absolutely. And it speaks to the awareness around domestic violence of all types, that you do not have to be a female to be a target of it. You do not have to be in a cisgender relationship. Like domestic violence is a very real reality in relationships, no matter the composition.
Yeah, yes. It's real. We lift your name, and I'm going to make sure I said Edwin. Is it Chiloba or Kiloba?
I said Kiloba. I looked it up to see how it was pronounced. I found Kiloba, but look at this fashion sense.
I love it. That's one of my favorite shots of him.
Yeah.
We lift your name, my brother. Thank you, Vash. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. So how about some entertainment? We've given you all some headlines.
Yeah, we've had some really heavy stories.
It's heavy because it's real.
Wow, the continuing saga of that couple, TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. The latest update is indeed that they have been removed from their positions at ABC. being cited as inappropriate in terms of the accusations around affairs, not just between the two of them, but others as well, and a distraction to the mission of their programming. And so they have been released. It is my understanding that they too are suing. And so the saga continues. I hope this love is worth it. And I hope that this love survives, because it has certainly been quite an issue.
Well, and what I've been reading about this whole experience here, and now that it's public that GMA has fired them, some of the things that have been coming out about the accusations that GMA has been hurling against Amy, saying that she was a drunk, and that people have been calling her a drunk, and that was their reason for firing her, not because she was having an affair. It was like she was this evil person backstage and all this other kind of stuff. And it's kind of messy. And quite frankly, I don't know the insides of their contract, but personally, I don't think they've done anything that another person on another show hasn't done before. So, and they look good together. So I'm just going to say, I hope whatever the outcome is, it's a win-win for everybody. Being on TV is not everything. So.
Although we would like to be there.
We would like.
Let's find out if it's everything.
Yes. We'll report back. Help us out.
How about that? Thank you. Thank you, Vash.
Well, speaking of entertainment, since we are all in the world of entertainment right now, for those of you who don't know, Alec Baldwin has been formally charged with involuntary manslaughter in the killing of Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust after skipping mandatory firearm safety sessions and not paying attention during training. It's important to know because, So the movie's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, is also being charged. Even though she claims that she pleaded with producers to give Alec Baldwin more firearms training, requested a plastic gun be used for rehearsal scenes, and told producers to call her back to set if Alec Baldwin was going to use a real gun at any point. Gutierrez's requests were repeatedly brushed off. So, although they are charging her with negligence, she said that she tried to do her job. Assistant director Dave Halls, who greenlit the prop gun as safe to use, has also agreed to plead guilty to negligent use of a firearm under terms of a suspended sentence and the ability to just serve probation. So a lot going on with this, a lot of people being held accountable. I'm going to just say before I open this up to you guys that as an actor, on set, on stage, when you were given a firearm, you were told repeatedly, do not point this at another person. I don't care whether the gun was a water gun, whether it was carved out of soap before becoming a shank, or whatever it was, you were told do not point that at another human being. So for him to do that.
Well, I'm going to say too that if he was told that, that's first and foremost. And I think I don't, if that's what you say happens, was he told that, number one? And then number two, I kind of feel like, if, say, for example, someone gives someone a microphone and, you give me a microphone, I don't, if there's some kind of electric or something shock that's going to come to that microphone, I don't need to ask you, is this going to be electric shock that's going to come to this microphone? I'm on stage to do that. So there's a small window there that, in my opinion, says, why should Alec Baldwin have said, is there a real bullet in here?
He should not have had to have asked that. So I think that's why Dave Hall is saying, hey, I'm going to take some responsibility here. But as an actor, whenever you were given a firearm on stage, you were told you do not point it at a person. Even if you're filming and you're supposed to be pointing it at the person, you are always pointing it off to the side because you are told you never know. You never know. And
Well,
You
I'm
know,
glad you told me, because damn it, because I got this daggone with this what do you call it? I'm going to audition for this film, and I want to make sure I don't point the gun at the person, because now you told me I'm gonna point it to the side, and if they tell me,
they will,
I'm
because
only
it's
kidding.
never
I'm
going to
only
be
kidding.
right. It's never going to be filmed in such a way that it
Right.
has to be at the
Right,
person.
Right,
So
right,
for him
right.
to do that and then pull the trigger, it's just asking for the wrong thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did my research today and found that article that said that he had been repeatedly tried to, taken through safety training and was on his cell phone and just really being dismissive.
Okay.
Safety issues.
Well, okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Bobby. Did you want to say anything before we go on? Because we're talking about being on a set of something, but I'm just gonna say, baby, baby, baby. If you all haven't heard, okay, this 16-pound baby was
Newborn.
That
This
is a newborn
was
child.
born in Brazil. You all look, women, ladies.
I know y'all clenching.
Ladies, I applaud you. You are a gift.
That is a newborn child.
To bring 16 pounds into the world.
Oh.
Okay,
Lord.
this baby, we don't have a name, but we just wanted to show y'all in case you all haven't heard in the news. This is a production.
We have nicknamed
Right
him
here.
Big Baby.
His name is Gigantor.
BB. Big Baby.
Baby. We just wanted to share with you all that big things are happening, and they're in the form of a child. Okay,
In the form of a baby.
Of a baby. So whoever the mother is, I hope you are resting well. And if you, girl, that's all I can say, girl. Okay.
All right. Moving on from our big baby. It's tomorrow's a big day.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Oh,
I thought there was Sunday.
I'm sorry.
It's Sunday.
It's
Come
Friday.
on now.
It's Sunday. Sunday is the Grammys. Folks.
Well, you are out of town. You've been traveling a lot, so that's your excuse.
I don't know what day it is. It's true. It's Sunday night. And look, and I was the one in our meeting this week was like, guess what Sunday is, guys? It's Grammy night. It's Grammy night.
Sunday is Grammy night, ladies and gentlemen. And we were talking in our meeting about this, and literally, I think I know 4 artists.
Yeah, we were talking about the whole notion that there are times you can watch some of these shows, and each year you tend to know fewer and fewer of the people who are nominated for some of these awards, and it's really scary.
Well, we know one person who got nominated. I mean, multiple times. Of course, she's leading. Of course, for Renaissance, Beyonce is definitely leading the pack. But I think when I look at the show this year, one of the big things I'm going to be looking at is I'm not even a hip hop fan, but they are doing a big production on 50 years of hip hop. Yeah, and so I'm kind of looking forward to that because hip hop has definitely shaped our world and our culture. And so I think I can't believe it's 50 years. Do you feel old? Do you feel old?
Bobby is old, but I don't.
I did. I heard a pin drop. Wait,
you heard a pin drop, but then you heard this quiet voice come from a screen and go, Bobby is old.
I heard a pin drop. Okay.
Only because you just had a birthday, Bobby.
I did.
You did. But just know you don't look like what you've been through. Let me just say that you don't.
You couldn't.
You don't.
I am proud to be 62 years old.
Come on now. Come on now. There you go. You look good doing it too.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. I will also say, as we're speaking of Sunday and getting off of me at this point, that part of what I'm also looking forward to is another hosting gig by the man that I just know and love and think he's brilliant is Trevor Noah.
Is Trevor Noah hosting this show?
Yes, he is.
Again?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. That's another reason for me to look at it.
Amen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Well, look, make sure you're watching, but look out for fallen objects because.
Okay, now we're getting into crazy news. That's what we're
right. This is
we're going into crazy news.
Look, crazy stuff has been happening.
Make sure your life is right because this woman in Hawaii. We're gonna see that again. This woman is just walking into her little family room to watch some TV. Just came from the kitchen with some popcorn.
And
that is a boulder. Oh my God.
A boulder.
It's not funny, but she survived, so it's good. It's good.
Exactly. Just narrowly misses her. Can you just imagine walking in your house and then boom, something comes through? It's like what is it? Final Destination, where it's like they're like, "Oh, we missed her."
Boys,
how do you call the insurance company and go like, a big boulder just rolled into my house?
I wanted to see the outside of the house, though. I wanted to see what the house looked like when a boulder rolled off the hill. They've been having a lot of rain, out there, and a boulder just rolls through your house, and she was on her way. Mountain living is dangerous. You ain't never lied, Maurice.
Maurice said it's dangerous to live in those mountains. Oh my God.
Yeah. And Samuel says, "You look good, brother."
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But you know what? There's a theme that we've got going here. That you'll never know when you're safe in your house. Because guess what else happened here in DC, in the DC area? A car going down the street hits the curb, flips the curb, goes over the fence at the house, turns completely upside down, and lodges itself in the front of this house.
Okay.
It's like the TikTok flip your car and knock on someone's door challenge.
Look at the railing on the porch that is completely unscathed.
It didn't even touch the railing.
Look at the railing. Look at the fence. Look at that picture. That car jumped that high, flipped.
We're talking about some serious shots. Okay.
That's. I hope someone has one of those little surveillance cameras from their home that caught that.
That caught that.
That is miraculous.
Look at
the
that
good
fence.
news.
That fence
The
is
good
in
news
perfect
is
condition.
Nobody was in the house.
No
it was
one
a vacant
was in the house.
Thank
goodness. Right.
And the driver actually walked away unharmed.
Unharmed.
They
had to be either, and pardon me, but they had to be either high, drunk, or something, because the only way that you could walk away from something like that unharmed is that your body would not be responding as it normally would.
Well,
that's just Bobby's tape. I don't know if that's true. There's my disclaimer. Don't come suing me for slander either.
Okay. Well, we've seen two pieces of crazy, but this next crazy is going to take us to a whole nother level. There was a 21-year-old female basketball coach who was fired this week for impersonating a 13-year-old by joining a junior varsity team during a basketball game and winning. And the parents spotted her. Let's look at this reel here.
Okay, there she is, the coach.
The coach. She is 21 years old.
And Alvin, as you pointed out, this is a junior varsity basketball game.
Look at her.
I love that she jumped up and down when she made the basket, like she was not sure that she could do that.
Congratulating herself as she scores on students at a junior varsity.
Let's go there. Which is, I made it.
The girls are traumatized. You hear me? The little girls. Well, first, it's so many questions going on here. Did the coach not know that this girl, even though the 13-year-old didn't show up, what'd she do? Do something to her hair? What did she go through to look like the 13-year-old girl that the coach could not recognize her? And so you going on out there and play.
Right.
What?
No one else, like no one else, no other parent, like the janitor, like nobody. But the little girls, the team, they have been traumatized, and this is not a message that the school wants to send to the young girls. They want to play with integrity, and all that's been shot.
I have one thing to say.
Okay, it's all been shot.
Hot mess party of 1 year table.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our newsworthy part of the show.
Lord.
We like to get newsy with you every now and then. And, this was a moment to do that. And also, like I said, Bobby has never done it before. So, Bobby, Thank you.
I love it. This is
Thank you.
great.
This is where we just say how we feel about
just
everything.
Let it go.
Okay.
Let it go.
So we decided, in honor of Black History Month, that for the whole month, that we are going to close the show by picking someone that we want to recognize during Black History. So
Every week, yes.
every week for the whole month. So we're gonna, Bobby, if you're ready to roll, take it away, my brother.
I am. My Black History shout out this week goes to Congressman John Lewis. I will say to you that one of the great highlights of my professional career was meeting Congressman Lewis. This was an opportunity where Congressman Lewis actually came to our school, spent time with us. I had the pleasure of interviewing him in front of our school community, introducing him, and it was always a dream of mine to meet him. And I'm so grateful to my brother, Michael Collins, who at the time was Congressman Lewis's chief of staff, who helped facilitate the opportunity for Congressman Lewis to come to our school. And it remains one of the treasured experiences of my life to meet living history in this way. And I'm very, very pleased to say that in 23, there will be a forever stamp in honor and in memory of the great civil rights icon, the great voting rights advocate, Congressman John Robert Lewis. Great moment of my life. I thank God for the blessing of having met and spent time with Congressman Lewis.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And so, Vash, who do you have today?
Well, I have decided to give honor to the first openly gay Black mayor of a U.S. city, Ron Oden. Now, Oden is an American politician, and he was the first gay Black man elected as a mayor. He was elected to the Palm Springs mayorship in November of 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he has been groundbreaking and opening doors and being a true inspiration to other politicians, gay politicians, to go on and become leaders of cities. So I honor Ron Oden. And he's on.
Thank you, thank you. I remember him. I remember him, and of course, I remember John Lewis. Thank you, guys. Well, I am going to close. The person who I've selected as my person today to honor and pay tribute to is author James Baldwin. A little bit about James Baldwin. He was born in Harlem in 1924. He was a writer and civil rights activist who's best known for his semi-autobiographical novels and plays that center on race, politics, and sexuality. Baldwin's work helped to raise public awareness and racial and sexual oppression. His honest portrayal of his personal experiences in a national context challenged America to uphold the values it promised on equality and justice. Themes of masculinity, sexuality, race, and class intertwine to create intricate narratives that run parallel with some of the major political movements towards social change in the mid 20th century America, such as the Civil Rights Movement and the Gay Liberation Movement. Baldwin's protagonists are often not exclusively African American, and gay and bisexual men frequently feature prominently in his literature. These characters often face internal and external obstacles on their search for social and self-acceptance. Such dynamics are prominent in Baldwin's second novel, Giovanni's Room, which was written in 1956, well before the gay liberation movement and a few years before I was born. But I didn't read Giovanni's Room until 1976 when I was in my junior year of high school. And it was a book that really changed my life. And I read at a moment, it was one of the first books I read. And it just taught me, helped me to understand some things about myself and getting to know things about James Baldwin. He was actually one of the first persons that I looked at and said, this person is unapologetically Black.
Yeah.
You know, he pushed that narrative. And for those of you who are not familiar with him, you may be familiar with some of his other work, like Notes of a Native Son, Sonny's Blues, and If Beale Street Could Talk. But Giovanni's Room was the book that changed my life. Baldwin died at his home in St. Paul de Vence, France, on December 1st, 1987, of stomach cancer at the age of 63. The person I've selected today to honor for Black History Month is author James Baldwin.
He is one of my favorites. The number of quotes and he was unapologetic, as you said, and just cutting edge. When you've seen interviews of him and how he has handled those who certainly tried to diminish him and make him feel less than, like he would have them for lunch, like, and do it in such an articulate and powerful way. And we have a couple of folks that have chimed in. Sean is saying that he's one of his favorite authors, and Rodney Bryant, also, who's been on our show, obviously, also mentioning that Giovanni's Room is one of his favorites. So I too am a huge, huge fan of the one and only James Baldwin.
Well, thank you, guys. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to, and Rose said he's fearless.
Fearless.
That's right.
She's
fearless.
Right.
Fearless.
That's a great
Fearless.
description.
Fearless.
Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited about our show. Next week, we have the director, film director, Ashton Pena. He's here. He has directed a film called Nana's Boys. Nana's Boys is a film that focuses on the intimate life of a couple who are confronted with the fact that their relationship is not as solid as they thought. And we have seen the video. I keep saying the video. We have seen the film. In my opinion, I can't wait to get him on here because I thought it was just terrific. I thought it was an excellent, well-produced film. We can't wait to share Mr. Pena with you all next week. So please tune in next week. And if we can just, if we can share with you all our words of the week this week, I want to go ahead and do that. I cannot say whether things will get better if we change. What I can say is they must change if they are to get better. And that was a quote from George C. Lichtenberg, ladies and gentlemen. And wow.
Let the church say amen.
That was a quote that came out of everything that we've been dealing with this week in terms of, the change and, killings and fentanyl deaths and big babies being born. Okay. we have
21-year-olds playing on junior varsity basketball teams.
Our producer calling from Puerto Rico.
Okay, people just need to calm down. Just calm down, people.
Bring it down a little bit.
Down. Settle yourselves.
As always, you know how I feel about you guys, and again, always a good time with you guys. I look forward to this week. And ladies and gentlemen, please, if you see any of our advertisement, go to our LinkedIn. I said LinkedIn. I keep saying LinkedIn. It's not LinkedIn.
That's okay.
Because help
it's
me out
Linktree.
Linktree. Go to our Linktree site and
Did
please
you say help me, Bobby? I am not the technical one on this team. You know. Now.
Well, did I say? I'm not saying that you all look alike, but I was looking at you when I was talking about him. Okay, so, but there it is, right there. Please go and join our Linktree. Go to our Linktree site and join one of our social media outlets. As always, it's a pleasure coming to you all every Friday. And tell somebody this week that you love them, because you never know if they're going to be here tomorrow. So until next week, you guys have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you on our new episode of He Said.
He said.
He said.
Good night. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
See you next week.
I am Black History.